Here we have the Imperial Aces expansion pack for the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game. What I'm going to do is a detailed unboxing, let you see everything that's inside this box so that you can decide how important this expansion pack is for you. Once I rip off the cellophane, I can just mention that this is the first expansion pack that has been done that is for a ship that already exists. And by that I mean the TIE Interceptor ship is already available, singly. So I'll just bring one of those into shot there on the side. And up to now, all the other expansion packs are more akin to the larger ships that you see at the back there, Slave, Lambda and Millennium Falcon. So this expansion pack has got a lot to live up for, because although you're getting 2 ships, so price per ship, it's not bad at all. Hopefully the content, the paint job, and all the tokens and rules and missions, etc. make up for what's inside here for the value. Okay, as per normal, you always get nice little Ziploc bags and all the various stands and plastic stacks you need to actually assemble the figure. So I'll just quickly pop these 2 on their poles. You've also got the small little buttons that make up the actual movement dial, and the most interesting bag I think is this one here, because it's got inside here all the new cards and tokens. The rule sheet I've had a quick flick through, so there's a mission 7 in here, and it introduces a whole new set of rules and tokens, which will be in here, where you can actually have an installation or a base, and you can more on that as we zoom in on there. So far, there we go, we've got ourselves 2 very nicely painted ships. We're now going to zoom right in so you can see these very closely against this rather snazzy star map. The 2 TIE Interceptors, let's start with the Crimson Guard. I'm going to zoom right in, so let's just get the camera focused in, and once I've got it sharp, we'll spin the figure a little bit so you can see more of the detailing. So as you can see, there's 2 stripes on each side, upper part and lower part. Just turn it over, nothing on the inside, and then again the stripe on this flip side. Other than that, there really is no detail difference in any of the moulded parts or painted parts of this figure. So I'm going to just give you a quick little 360 spin so you can see the front and the back. That's caught the light quite nicely. So there's a lot of good detail as always with these figures, but the only real thing you've got here is the stripe. I'm going to quickly bring a standard TIE Interceptor in as well. So as you can see, the colour, the actual grey, is slightly more, I can't see any other word other than slightly more blue-grey. But to be honest, you could, if you were brave with your brushes or even possibly a felt tip pen, you could perform this simple red stripe operation on your figures yourself. So I don't think there's anything particularly special regarding the figure. They are exactly the same mould, and that's really one for you to decide how comfortable you are with regards to painting that red stripe along the side of a standard TIE Interceptor figure. Okay, I'm going to quickly now switch to the Crimson Guard, or the Royal Guard figure. Really nice. Again, same physical figure, same mould. I'm going to spin this around. There's a lot more colouring going on in here. So there's red on the inside of the 2 wings as well as the main body itself. Nice white stripe detail going on down there. The tips are also slightly light white tipped. And there's a couple of bands, as you can see in the back there, around the attachment points that the fins have to the main body. So a little bit more of a challenge, but again, not impossible if you were comfortable with your painting skills to convert a standard TIE Interceptor into this crimson coloured Royal Guard TIE Interceptor. I think you can see there that it's really a case of trimming the edges where you've kind of got the blue-grey of the standard TIE Interceptor. A little bit harder in the middle, in the centre part there. As you can see, there's a bit more work going on in inside. Camera's just focusing there. I've got them at different depth, which isn't so clever for the camera. But again, quickly flicking the focus back to the original. There we go. You've got a bit of a dry brushing that would need to be done in there. But again, totally doable. So there we have the very well nicely coloured, and it is real crimson red. It's a nice colour. It's very true to the true to what you'd expect, and I can almost see the guy sitting in there with his crimson red cloak and helmet on. Not quite sure what they look like when they're flying these things. Okay, now let's just pull back out, and we're going to open up all the new special cards and go through the tokens and the rules, so you can quickly have an overview of what's in this pack. And obviously the very, very thick card stock that you get for the tokens and the movement dial are as good and thick as ever. And there's a few new things that you'll quite quickly immediately see, and these are to do with the new rules and mission 7 that's in part of the scenario. So I'm going to quickly pop that on the table. Basically you get to play, or the Imperials in this particular mission have a, let's say, a TIE development research facility, and they've got mounted on various asteroids dotted around a particular game area these various facilities that can enhance this development R&D type TIE, let's call it a TIE fighter extraordinaire, that they're currently researching on, and the game and the rule and the mission allows you to allows the rebel scum to try to discover this Imperial TIE research facility, and obviously your task will be to shut it down. And you get a very special, I call these tombstones, so this is the in place of the normal counter that you have to uniquely identify your ships, you have on this special tombstone, which is the special research TIE fighter. So you can basically apply that to any ship in the Imperial fleet. So you get full flexibility, and the mission rules currently set up in the pamphlet give you various points that you spend on the ship, so you can go through that and have fun. So obviously you get normal evade, focus, target lock, stress, shields, etc. So there's plenty of extra goodie tokens that you get to add on, as well as the normal two-sided ship base for the various pilots and or named pilots or squadron pilot. So we're going to quickly go through and zoom into all the actual main cards that you get. This I'm going to assemble later. What I like to actually do is to laminate, put a little bit of plastic laminate on the actual movement dial itself before I assemble it with the clips. Just add a shot, so pop them in there so that they spin and smooth, are able to freewheel a little bit more smoother than just cardboard on cardboard. So that's just a little tip that I'll show you in another video. Okay, let's start with the stock pilots for the two ships. So you get 2 of each type. So you've got 2 Sabre Squadron pilots, and you've got 2 Royal Guard pilots. So it's up to you how strict you want to stick to the coloration of the ship and the pilot type. So really the Sabre Squadron should be the red stripe, and the Royal Guard pilot should be in the crimson coloured ship. But as you can see, pretty good, especially for stock pilots, in fact very good. Both initiative high 4 and 6, 3, 3, 3, 0 across the board, so the ships don't change at all from the stock standard to TIE Interceptor. 21 points and 22 points for the Royal Guard respectively. So not bad price. Certainly you've got there some nice manoeuvrable lead ships. Now let's bring in some of the more special pilots. Let's just bring in a couple at a time. So here we've got Lieutenant Laurier. Now I'm going to pronounce these wrong. Some really nice movement here though. So you've got the option of taking a stress token, and you can use, when you're doing your barrel rolls, the one curve right or left as opposed to just the single move ahead templates. That's very nice. And Tetran Cowell, and you've got here, when you're doing a 180 degree turn, you can then treat your distance, your move distance, as a 1, 3 or 5. So you get to choose real time the actual distance you move, which can be fantastic for nipping above and in front of ships and getting out of the way, or getting yourself lined up for a ship that's just moved. Even though you've got 7 initiative, you've got there a really powerful card that can quite quickly allow you to dominate the board with your manoeuvres. These two particularly good at movement. Okay, let's bring in now the 2 Royal Guard pilots, and I'm only going by the colours. You can strictly use the pilot names and the type of ship if you want to or not. So you've got here now a 6 and an 8, again 3, 3, 3, 0 across the board. So slightly higher score here with a 24, matching the top of the Sabre Squadron pilots. So you've got here 24 and then the top 26. The Cur Canos gives you the ability, when at range 2 or 3, spending an evade token to add an additional damage result to your roll. So that's not rolling it, that's an extra result to your roll. That's a very good, clever one. So it's basically all about whether you want to evade or do damage and hurt the target. And then you've got Carnor Jacks, which is enemy ships at range 1 cannot perform focus or evade actions and cannot spend focus or evade tokens. So that's a little bit more tricky to use, very, very skillful, but to range 1 ships only. So if you're the kind of pilot that likes to get in close to do damage and wants to stay in close, then this is going to give you a real advantage on that. So let's quickly look across. You've obviously got the main, you've got plenty of details here, so you can obviously do the barrel rolls, the moves, etc., the evades. Plenty of options here, and as you will see when we come to the enhancement cards that you can do, the upgrades, you can actually soon be able to add focus to the TIE Interceptor, and we'll go through that next. So just a couple of the points. Across the board, they all get the medal icon, so they can all enhance their ships, apart from Lieutenant Laurier and Kerr Canos, which I'm not quite sure why, because the stock Sabre Squadron pilot and the Royal Guard pilot can, so there's just something to be aware of. No medals for these guys. 2 of the same type of card in this pack. So medals first, push the limit. So this is very nice. Once per round after you perform an action, you can maybe perform 1 free action showing your action bar, and these ships have got fully loaded action bars. This will be useful in the combination, which we'll show you in a moment. Opportunist, nice card. When attacking, if the defender does not have any focus or evade tokens, you may receive 1 stress token to roll an additional attack dice. Again, very nice. You cannot use this ability if you have any stress tokens yourself, but again, really good at doing some damage. Let's whiz these ones away. Let's do the ships. Again, you're getting 2 of the same. So this is for the Royal Guard TIE, so it's a named card tile, so only applies to that ship. 0 points, so basically you get this for free. TIE Interceptor only title. You may equip up to 2 different modification upgrades instead of 1. You cannot equip this card if you pilot skill values 4 or below. So okay, so apart from this guy here in the Sabre Squadron pilot, the Royal Guard pilot and above all get to do this one. So this is a very useful card, and as it's 3 points, you're going to be doing this. So you've got here yourself 2 modifications. That's going to be particularly useful. Now let's look at those modifications. So we've got ourselves targeting computers, hull and shield upgrade. Shield upgrade everybody knows. So obviously pay 4 points, increase your shield by 1. Hull upgrade, the same kind of idea. Pay 3 points and increase your hull by 1. So shield, hull, so 2 of them each. And here's the really fantastic one. Targeting computer. Yeah, you get 2 of these. Basically you get to add to your action bar the targeting action. So that means all these ships can have 5 actions, and that's going to be quite incredible. So obviously in combination where you've got the targeting computer and multiple upgrades and or push the limit, so you've got yourself there some quite good cards and upgrades that you can perform. Additionally in the set you get a couple of extra rule cards just to remind what the boost action and the modification and tile references cards let you do, but basically that's it. So here it all is. This is the entirety of the expansion pack, and I hope that you can also see that it's not just a case of 2 ships. This expansion pack is a whole bunch of new rules that you get explained and get to play through in Mission 7. I'm quite interested and looking forward to that. The idea of some static enhancing devices that you can basically mount. Okay, this story has them in asteroids, but let's say on moons, on other ships perhaps even, so your imagination and the way these rules can be adapted come into play. But also all these special new pilots. And I really think that the Royal Guard and the Sabre Squadron are very evocative. I think that this splash of red, very nice crimson red going through your board, going around your board, really does add something to the TIE Interceptor. Yes, if you're confident with your brush, you could turn some of the stock TIE Interceptors into this style, and I've seen some interesting paint jobs on the internet that are far more impressive than even these. But as an out-the-box paint job, very nice. The stripes are very well applied, nothing wrong with at all with that. But there's all these extra tokens, all these extra upgrades, giving your TIE Interceptors target lock, adding extra rules to the game, some fantastic new pilots for some very good prices here. So you even get some quite good pilots for the low 20s. I think that's quite special. If you want to be able to bring on the Imperial A-Wing style upgrades that you're going to get with this TIE Interceptor upgrade, then I think this pack is for you. It's actually not bad price anyway. So the 2 ships you're paying for this expansion pack, only a little bit more than you would be paying for 2 TIE Interceptors anyway. So all in all, I think this is a good buy. I'm certainly happy I've got this. I'm quite pleased with all the range of upgrades and enhancements I've got in here. How you feel, let me know in the comment section below. I hope this video helped with your purchasing decisions. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment.